And we are going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everyone. My name is Elizabeth Aloni and I'm with Schneps Media. Schneps Media is the largest local media company in the New York metro area. We publish over 70 newspapers, magazines, websites, webinars, podcasts, and events, and do so throughout Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, Westchester, Long Island, and Philadelphia. Today, I'm thrilled to be able to bring you an expert to talk about a career in custodial maintenance. You know, so many young people today are unsure about what their future holds, especially during these unprecedented times. And today we're going to speak with an expert and also some graduates who are going to discuss a path to starting a career that has free training and career placement. And how incredible is that during these really unique times? I'm thrilled to introduce our wonderful panelist, Cheryl Brewington, who's an employment skills instructor for Train and Earn. Welcome, Cheryl.
Good morning.
Let me tell you a little bit about this fabulous woman. Cheryl is a social services professional with over 15 years of experience in working in a client-focused environment. She possesses a strong work ethic and unwavering commitment to excellence. Cheryl has extensive managerial experience with exceptional skills in interdisciplinary teamwork, coordination, and staff development. Cheryl's been an instructor with the Train and Earn program since 2019 and has developed a curriculum that accommodates different learning styles and abilities. She's dedicated to the mission of AHRC and has shown unwavering devotion to the Train and Earn program as well. Welcome, Cheryl.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited to be able to share everything this morning. So thank you for that introduction.
My pleasure. Cheryl is a passionate advocate, and I love to hear her talk about the program. So I do want to hear more about the Certified Custodian Technician Training Program. Let's get started with who's eligible for the program.
All right. So let me pull up our information.
Great. She's going to share some information with you on her screen.
Here we go. So we are Train and Earn, as Elizabeth so kindly introduced us this morning. We are located in 4 of the 5 boroughs, but we'll get to that a little bit later. We are talking about eligibility. So people who are eligible for our program are young adults between the ages of 16 and 24 who are currently out of school and out of work, not enrolled in school of any sort. They have a desire to learn a new skill and gain employment in the custodial maintenance field. We are looking for people who are committed to the 16-week program, which will get them the certification that we are so excited to talk about a little bit later, and also the 1 year of follow-up where we will stay connected. They have to be a resident of New York City, and they have to be authorized to work in the USA. They do not, though, and this slide doesn't clarify that, do not have to have a high school diploma if you are no longer in school.
That's great to know. That's great to know. So there's a lot of people who are eligible, and those are the key things that you should look for to see about your own eligibility. So why should a young person consider a career as a custodian technician?
I think that's my favorite question. So why, right? And that's always the question that we all have. Why? Why should we do something or should not do something? The first reason, my why is always the demand, because even though I know that's number 2 here on our slide, it has definitely flipped over this past year. The demand for custodial maintenance technicians is extremely high, which means that job placement and job acquisition is really happening really fast for us as a program and within the industry. So it's a high demand, and wages are climbing significantly as the demand goes up. Also, a third is that the custodial maintenance field is based on skill. So for my people who may be interested, who does not have a high school diploma or does not desire to go to college, you can still grow and promote in this field significantly based on how you sharpen your skill. So demand, wages, and it's a skill-based field.
That's
And
such
I
an
love that.
important thing. The talk about high demand, what high demand leads to is job security.
Absolutely.
You know that your field has a high demand. I think so many young people and even older people, when they're thinking about what they want to do for a career, they don't think about demand. And I really think you're 100% right that the number one important thing when thinking about a career is are my skills going to be in high demand so I can get a job, keep a job, move up in a job, and have job security.
Yeah,
That's
it
so
is
important.
huge.
Fantastic. Can you let's dig into what they do? Can you tell us a little bit about what a custodian technician does?
All right, so custodial technicians, you may also hear them called janitors or just custodians or environmental service specialists. There's so many different titles, but the qualifications, the requirements are all the same. So custodial technicians keep buildings clean, orderly, and disinfected, which is another new buzzword, right? We've been doing this for years and decades and decades and decades, but it's a new buzzword because of the pandemic. So it's all about keeping a building clean, keeping a building restored, which means as close to its new state as possible. Also keeping it disinfected and sanitized so that we can protect the people that we serve. That is what we do, and it is essential. And I like to put it in the category as security. So no, you might not have a gun and you might not have handcuffs, but you are securing an environment for the old, for the young, and for everybody in between. It is a very essential job.
You know what? That has always been true, but never more so obviously true than it is today, with the pandemic. And now we understand the importance of germs and keeping yourself safe from germs and the importance of cleanliness. So absolutely, it is a safety position for sure, keeping people safe. Really wonderful.
Yeah.
Can you dig a little deeper into what people can expect with the program?
So I definitely can, but today I'm going to allow some of our former successful participants to tell our attendees what they got out of the program and all of the facets all of the areas of their lives that it has affected. And I'm so excited that our attendees get to hear from our past participants. So Elizabeth, I'm going to actually pass that question on. Our first participant we have that I would love to share, she is actually at work at her custodial technician job this morning, but she is one of our success stories, and she was able to take some time and come and share with us this morning about how Train and Earn has affected her whole life, not just her professional career. So Destiny, thank you for coming, and we would love for you to share this morning about your Train and Earn experience.
Hey, good morning.
Welcome, Destiny.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
So,
share with us your story.
So it was a great experience, like the Train and Earn program. Once I found out about it while I was looking for a job, and once I went to the building, everyone was so caring. I was a little scared because I did not have a high school diploma, but that didn't matter. They just took all my information. I started the program probably a month later, and it helped me a lot, like mentally, because I was going through a lot of things where I live at. I'm a single mom, so just going through a lot. So being able to talk to people, and it was helpful a lot. And then learning everything I learned helped me just as being a mom, like with the cleaning and stuff, the disinfecting helps at home. And it was very helpful, yeah.
That's so wonderful you're sharing about the support that you received. So moving from a place where you didn't have a high school diploma, you were afraid, you weren't sure about your direction, you're a mom taking care of, another human being's direction and showing up at this program and finding people who understand you and care about you and support you. And not only that, but gave you skills to be able to go out and get a job so you could earn money and you could even take better care of your family.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
And then, excuse me, sorry. I was gonna say something. Oh, even when like days I couldn't make it because we had to do actual hands-on work, we had to go to a building, learn how to buff and stuff. Some days I wouldn't make it, and they would help work around my schedule as being a mom, so I could get the experience I needed.
wow. So really supporting all areas of your needs.
Yeah, and then once I was done with the program, I feel like I got the job like so quickly. I was so grateful because not everybody got a job right off the bat, so it helped a lot.
So do you think that the training program helped you get a job quickly?
Yeah, definitely. I knew how to clean, yeah, of course, but learning the skills that I learned helped a lot.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Thank you for
Destiny, I'm sorry, Elizabeth.
No, not at all.
Destiny, do you want to share a little bit about the site that you work at now, and maybe a little about your internship site?
Oh, yeah. With the intern site, I worked at Ace, the hardware store, and they didn't have a janitor there or anything. So it was just like, you see something dirty, just clean it. Like, they were very cool about it and stuff. That was like my first ever job, technically. So it was cool. Then here at the Eltonville Transit Center, I got placed here once I started working. And it's a good site, I would say, because like there's times where there's a lot of people coming in and out, but then we get that slow time to where I get the time to clean without people barging in and stuff. It's a kind of big site, but it's not a whole lot of hassle, I would say.
So you feel like it's manageable?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So Destiny has actually been at her work site now. Next month will make 2 years that you've been at your site. She's actually a graduate from our 2018-2019 program year. And so just to point out that the program has a long-term effects. And I am so happy, I'm so encouraged that you were able to share how this program has helped you as a person, not just in one area. And that, Elizabeth, is what we aim to do as the program continues on. We want to help the whole person, right? Because if we help a person become professional, but then they have no personal skills, it's not going to last long. And so Destiny is just such a great example of what we do at the Train and Earn program. Destiny, I know you have to get back to work. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we'll be talking soon.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you so much, Destiny.
No problem.
What an inspiring story. Really wonderful to hear about. And it's really a great example, Cheryl, to what you talk about. It's more than just the training to become a custodial maintenance individual, a custodian technician, but also about becoming a professional person who can support themselves and look at Destiny, even a family.
Right. And you know that everything in our lives connect. And so if you feel like you're failing as a mom or a dad, you start failing everywhere, you know. And so I have like goosebumps because I'm so excited about what we do, that we get that. We have a social worker also that helps with the social needs so that people feel like they're connecting in every level, which is why that 1 year follow-up is so important so that we could secure at least the immediate future for each participant.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Are you going to have Peter share with us?
Yeah. So next up, we're going to have Peter. Peter is a graduate from our 2019-2020 program year. Peter is another success story for our Train and Earn program. And he was actually, and I think he'll share about this a little bit, he was actually in the group that where the pandemic hit and everything had to stop and we had to transition into online. And so Peter has a lot of what I like to call stickability. He stuck with it through all of our transitions, and he is definitely a success. Peter, I'm not going to tell your story. I would love for you to tell your story.
Thanks to you, I had a lot of stickability, miss. So,
Well, Peter, welcome.
hi, how are you? How's everybody? First off, I love the program. It's a great program. And like she said, they don't just teach you how to become a custodian, they teach you how to become better people. Like my language and how I spoke and how I acted from there, all the etiquettes down to the custodian, where you got to mix chemicals and everything. They taught me everything. I was in a bad place, work, home, looking, depression. And then that place gave me, a place to go, interact with people. Like she said, the social workers, if I needed any kind of help in that field, they helped. And like she said, there's times I wanted to quit, but they stay on you. They stay on top of you, and they make sure like it's a place you want to be. And I owe them a lot because I was in a very bad place, and they helped me extremely. And I owe a lot to the program. So I would say for any new entries, new people, stick with it, stay with it. Because honestly, I thought it was all a lie at first. I wasn't really good with, that you were going to actually do what they say, and they made me a believer. So if you feel like at any time that, it's not going to work, just stay with it and it'll work.
Yeah. Peter, can you, sorry, Elizabeth, go ahead.
No, I was going to say persistence and having people to help you persist, because sometimes it is hard to find it within yourself when it's just you. But to have a team that can help keep you going is great.
Yeah. And they pay you while you're going there, so that little bit of money, if you're in a bad place, that also helps. And it's just they make you a better person, and they get you a job and a professional. So you get like 2 wins with the program.
Peter, you want to tell us a little bit about where you work now and just your transition from class time into your placement?
Well, I started working while I was in the class because of the pandemic, and it was so high with the demand and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And doing that and working, it was fun. Like not that in the pandemic it was locked in. It was to actually go out, do something, and everything that you had taught us. It was like it just came like that, right? Because it was so fresh. It was like I just had finished, and the way it killed time and the weight and all of that stuff. And as of my sites today, they have me everywhere. I go wherever I'm needed, honestly. And, that's how I am. So that's why they don't really, care about having me all over the place. So I've done Manhattan, I've done Queens, I do the FDNY building out here. I did a couple buildings in Manhattan.
Yeah, so Peter is, like I mentioned before, he's one of our guys who was a part of the program before the pandemic hit, and he did transition with us. And so when we transitioned, like he mentioned, the demand went up so high, we were pulling out graduates right into position almost before even the program had ended in its entirety, because the demand was so high and our participants have that certification, they have that hands-on experience. And so we were just placing people, which we still have really high demand within the field. We get it all the time. And so some of our very high performing students, we do place pretty quickly, like Peter was talking about. So I know Peter said he travels all over because that's what he likes to do. And I just want to hit on that, Elizabeth, before Peter shares maybe one more thing, is we place our participants based on their desires, right? So we have a participant that lives in Brooklyn. They want to work in Brooklyn. There you go. We work to place you in that borough. If we have a participant who's like, Peter, send me anywhere. We have all types of positions to do those things. If you want to travel to 5 boroughs, we got you. If you want to stay local, we work that out. So Peter has been very flexible. He has experienced every aspect of our program, and we are very, very, very proud of him and of his success. So Peter, you thank us, but I want to say thank you.
Yeah, you always thank me. I thank you guys, man, because I would not be where I'm at now if it wasn't for you guys. And my landlord sending me the link to go to the thing. If it wasn't for those 2 things, I would have never known. And you guys are amazing people, and y'all do your thing at that. at that place. So I owe a lot to you. You say thank you to me, but thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter, and congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Peter, I'm not sure if you had plans, but you are free to stay or free to go if you would like. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your time.
I'll stay for a little bit till I get bored. I'm just put my
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So that was amazing. I love hearing from students, and it does really warm my heart, and I'm getting a little teary-eyed myself. Cheryl, can you walk us through the services that participants will receive and dig a little deeper into the program?
Okay, yeah, so these are some of our outcomes, but we'll probably get back to that. Let's talk about the services. So all participants who join the training and earn program will receive work readiness training, which they will have an updated resume, all pre-employment documents will be complete, as well as learning how to interact in the workplace and learning how to report to work or not report to work, all of those things. And then one of our main focuses is the custodial maintenance certification that we provide for all of our participants. In addition, in the 1 year of follow-up, we offer the OSHA 10 training as well, which is just another certification of safety to help participants define their resume and work in the field safely. In addition to the CMI certification, we do hands-on training. There's 175 hours of internship that are paid. And then we do job placement within the 1 year of follow-up after completion of all the program components.
So you do the program training, you do the internship, and then it's placement in a job.
Placement in a job, or these are some of the outcomes that happen within the 1 year.
Oh, great.
Job placement. We could help with college enrollment for participants who want to go to college or want to complete their education, such as a GED or HSE diploma. We also offer apprenticeship, which is an extended training with custodial maintenance professionals. And then we help participants enroll in the U.S. military if they desire to do so. So these are some of the outcomes after the 16 weeks are complete.
Terrific. So your students don't necessarily all follow the same track. Some of them have different objectives, and that's something that you work with each individual student to determine which way they want to go.
Absolutely.
Terrific.
Absolutely, we do.
So we had a few examples from Peter and Destiny, but can you share some more examples of where graduates work?
Sure. So our graduates work across the 5 boroughs of New York. Our program is in 4, but we place in all 5 boroughs. And some are hospitals and healthcare facilities, courthouses, sports arenas such as the Barclays Center or the Madison Square Garden. Some universities and colleges such as Pace University or Kingsborough University in Brooklyn. And then also we have government buildings, and I want to add to this list transportation sites, such as where Destiny works. It's a huge transportation hub, very similar to maybe the Port Authority or something of that nature. Other work sites for all boroughs. Also, we have contracts with the MTA, and we have contracts with retail stores and things of that nature, even hardware stores, such as Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Lowe's, all of those places, because everywhere needs to be cleaned and disinfected. So we place our graduates at a very wide span of facilities.
That's great. And I think even Destiny alone, she worked in an Ace Hardware, one size of a place, and then now she's working in a transportation hub, another size. So there's also different size companies, different industries that students can turn to. That's great. What about location? What locations do you offer these programs? And also if you can get into how someone can apply, because I'm getting a lot of those questions from the attendees now.
All right, great. So We are located in Staten Island, Brooklyn, the Bronx, and Queens. But if you live in Manhattan, you still need to contact us because we will place you at your closest location. So we are open to all 5 boroughs. We are located in 4 of the 5 boroughs. How to apply? You could either email the email address you see on the screen, osyrecruitment@ahrcnyc.org, or you could call our automated message call center that'll take information from you, and we will reach out to you specifically from the borough that you reside in or that you're closest to. Either one is fine, and we will get back to you within a 24-hour period.
Terrific, terrific. So all the boroughs, and you recommend as the next step to either send an email or make a phone call. When does the next program begin? What's the date of that next program?
Great question. Next program starts April 5th, which is about a week and a half, a little less than a week and a half from today. So if you are interested, call today so we could get your process started, your intake process. I could speak a little bit about how we're doing program as well, Elizabeth, if you would like.
Yes, yes.
So what we have been doing, it's a hybrid offering that we've been doing, which is part online and part in person. With our field, we have to be hands-on, we have to be in the environment, and we follow all of the recommendations that come from our local leadership and from the CDC. So although there may be some Zoom class, some boroughs may have in-person class. Each borough is offering the program a little differently. So please, as you apply and give us a call, make sure you are open to traveling and being in environment with all the protections that are necessary for the situation that we are in with the pandemic.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for this information. I love that the students were here
Me
to
too.
give real personal experience about the program. That's so special. You know, we have a bunch of really great questions here.
All right.
That I would love to be able to ask of you. So Elle wanted to know, do you provide administration managerial positions?
Okay, Elle, we do not. Our focus with AHRC is custodial maintenance, but Train and Earn is a program that is funded by the Department of Youth and Community Development. And so there are Train and Earn programs that offer different focuses, such as administrative, some offer hospitality or other focuses other than custodial maintenance. If you're interested in that, you could Google Train and Earn DYCD, and the website will come up. It will give you all the Train and Earns and what they certify for.
Say that again, Train and Earn.
DYCD.
So I just put that in the chat. So you can go ahead and see that there, all of our attendees, if that's something that you want to look into, Elle in particular. But as I said, when one person has a question, often it's other people have the same question. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah was asking that she's an income building specialist at the homeless shelter organization for women in need, and she feels this looks amazing for her clients.
Awesome.
She wanted to know if you can clarify the parts of the program and the duration of those programs, the internship and the training.
Sure. So the parts of the program, if we break it down, it kind of breaks down into 2 different parts. So it's 16 weeks altogether. The first 8 weeks are training and occupational or hands-on training. And those are a mixture of in-person and online for some of our locations. That's the first 8 weeks. That's where participants gain certification. They do some hands-on experience, and there's a stipend given every week during that 8 weeks of the program. Then after that is completed successfully, participants go into 175 hours, which pans out to about 6 or 7 weeks of internship at a location in whichever borough they are participating in, and they get paid hourly at that point, $15 an hour to participate with the internship. And then after that is the 1 year of follow-up, where we will place participants into job positions or whichever outcome that they desire at that point.
Fantastic. That really made it very easy. Appreciate that answer. We also have a question. Do you accommodate undocumented people?
Undocumented, as long as they are authorized to work in the USA, which I think that might fall outside of that. So we do have a documentation requirement. I would say still call this number, because so we could talk to you personally and kind of dig a little deeper and see what we could do. So don't be deterred, let us call you, and we could give you a more specific answer.
I think it's a really good point, Cheryl. Thank you. Because I think if anyone thinks they might have an interest, just give a call. You can ask the question specifically, and they can be able to give you those answers right away.
Right.
Ksenia had as a question, how often do you run the program?
Good question. So we run the program 4 times a year. We call them cycles. So we have 4 cycles a year. April 5th will actually be our cycle 4, because our year doesn't run January to December. And then we'll start again, usually late summer, late summer, we'll start again. So 4 times a year.
So get moving if you're interested. You still have time, right? So try
get moving. Yeah.
You don't have to wait. Jesse wanted to know, can you talk more about the apprenticeship that you can help people get into?
Sure. So the apprenticeship is what apprenticeship is, just in general, is a learning student follows an expert in the field, whichever the field may be. So for our field is custodial maintenance. So our participants who want apprenticeship, we connect you with the expert and you work with them as not an intern, because you're learning to do what they do, but not in the classroom, in a real life situation. So you would be scheduled to be with them when they're working, and you would actually learn to do the depths of the things that they do that you may not have learned in class or in your internship, maybe working with bigger machines, or cleaning things on a deeper level, dealing with stronger chemicals, things of that nature.
Great, thank you. Someone was asking, can they refer someone to you?
Absolutely. So we take all referrals. We appreciate referrals. If you take this information on the screen, you could pass that information along. Feel free to do so to whomever you may feel is eligible, and we will take it from there. So absolutely, yes.
Fantastic. And I did put the email address and the phone number in the chat. Also, everyone who registered, you will get an email to the email that you registered with, and it will have the email address and the phone number. It'll also have a link to be able to watch this again, because we've actually recorded it. So you could even share the recording itself with other individuals. But absolutely, people do not have to watch this to call. So you can certainly just refer them to be able to reach out immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's just see, we have a couple more questions. Elle wanted to know, how quick is their job advancement to a higher position, earning more, incentives, benefits? And she also had a question about, unions or any of these union jobs. So if you could speak to that, that would be great.
Sure, I love this question. So Elle, that all depends on you, okay? Just like any job, how you promote, how you advance is completely up to how you perform in your day-to-day activities, showing up to work, when you're there, being present, showing that you want to advance. We place participants in jobs where advancement is available, right? But we cannot promise advancement because it is based on you. We want to see you advance, absolutely. but it is completely based on you. I have seen participants move into union jobs, but as we place, that is not usually a requirement that we have, that our placements are union, but you can definitely advance to that. We can help you search that out in your year of follow-up if that's something you want specifically. So once the 16 weeks are up, which means you have your certification, you finished your internship. At that point, we regroup and we would say, Elle, what do you want now? How do you want to move into your placement? What do you want to look into? Do you want an advanced CMI? So we do offer an advanced CMI certification to participants we think would be successful doing that. So we do offer some advancement, but as far as promoting in your job, that's going to be you showing up and showing out.
I love it. In fact, I remember, Cheryl, you're sharing before that some of your students were actually hired from their internship. And again, that's really up to the individual, that, you know, each opportunity that an individual has to work in an environment, and they can, as you said, show up and do a great job, that you're developing relationships and opportunities just come forward. I think, you know, Peter was a great example of, you know, opportunities and what a great attitude he has. Of course, any company's going to love to see him show up. You know, he's excited, he's passionate, he's hardworking, and he's grateful. And so those are the kind of people that, you know, advance.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I love it. So can you walk us through, let's say somebody calls or they email, what does it feel like? Like, what are the next steps with application? Like, what should people expect?
Okay. So you're going to call, you're going to email, you're going to get a call back, usually less than 24 hours, but we ask for a 24-hour leeway. And we're going to talk to you about you. We're going to go over eligibility. So we're going to ask those basic questions. Are you between 16 and 24? Are you out of school, out of work? And then we're going to tell you the documents that we need to collect and the next process of intake. So each borough does their intake a little different, but it's we have an application process. We do a criminal background check on participants, and then we do just a final wrap up of the interview and the skills that you would like to acquire. So there's a few steps after calling before starting. So that's why we say call today, so that we could get all of those things satisfied. In the case you may need a parent involved, if you are under 18, we do need your parent or your guardian involved in your intake process, just because that's a minor. But if you're over 18, between 18 and 24, we can move through the process with you. So there's an application process, a criminal background check, and then just a skills and goals process of the intake.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Do you have time for one more question? I see one more.
I do. I love this.
Jesse wants to know, what kinds of jobs do people often advance to?
Okay, so we do place in the custodial maintenance field. All of our jobs are custodial maintenance, but they are in different locations. So we've had participants get hired with our enterprise, which is called Hudson River Services. It is a custodial maintenance enterprise that AHRC owns, and they then place them at different areas, which both Destiny and Peter work for Hudson River Services, but as you see, they work in completely different facilities. So if you like working outside, we could accommodate that. If you like working inside, we could accommodate that. But you will be doing maintenance within that field. Some people do work in federal government buildings, such as FedCap. Some people work in the Human Resource Administration building. Some people work at the Staten Island Ferry. Retail stores, gyms. We place in a lot of the same areas that we offer our internships, because we have those partnerships. And also, again, like I shared, it is a very customized when we get to the placement part. So at that point, we really sit with you and say, what does your life say you could do long term? As you guys see, Destiny has a little girl. So Destiny can't work overnight, but somebody else may be able to. So we really customize when we get to the job placement portion.
Great. And when someone gets started and they get placed in a position, are there part-time positions available, or are these traditionally full-time positions?
We have all of the above. We have part-time, we have full-time, we have overnights, we have early mornings. And it's awesome because it's just a part of the field, right? Some buildings need to be clean when it's completely empty, and that opens up our overnight. Some buildings need to be clean as the day progresses, such as daycares, right? So if the kids go to the lunchroom, somebody needs to come in and clean the classroom. So it opens up our schedule. We schedule people from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. really, even overnight. So all of the above, part-time, full-time, all hours.
That's great. So really the answer is call, find out, ask about your specific needs, your wants, because everybody's different. And you can get the help that you need and get started on your journey to a career. It's very exciting. Thank you.
Absolutely. Come get this certification and then everything else will fall into place. It's going to fall into place.
That's so wonderful. So wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all of this with us and for sharing the students with us and educating us on this wonderful career path. I really appreciate, Cheryl, your passion for the program shines through, and you can certainly see how Peter was feeling and Destiny were feeling about the people that are part of the program. And I think that's, speaks a lot to it too. So thank you so much, Cheryl, for sharing that with us. Thank you so much to our attendees for joining us. As we said, please reach out. You have all the information in your hands. And as I said, you'll be able to watch this again and share this with others. I wish you so well on your journey. I want you all to stay safe, stay healthy, and best of luck on your journey. Thanks so much, Cheryl.
Bye. Thank you. I enjoyed this. Call today.
Yes. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.